Welcome to GrayPrimer, a weekly show that's mostly about miniatures. My name is Nick, I'm your host, and in this episode it's another Japan July special, and it's Bandai Gundam all over again. This time no Zakus, I've got a Sky Moebius high grade and a Zeta real grade. With every Gundam that I build, I seem to be wading into progressively deeper and deeper water, and I'm not even mad. The quality of the kits, the different grades, the ranges that are available, the incredible artwork that's involved, the technology that's involved within their production, there's nothing to be mad about. It's just all good times. Apart from when a Zaku breaks its leg when you're trying to get a very specific picture, but I don't even mind because I ended up getting this picture and I think this was better than what I had in mind initially. So, it's all good. But today I'm looking at a high-grade Sky Moebius and I'm putting it up against a real grade Zeta. Zeta. They're both the same scale. They're both 144 scale. The same as the Zaku's actually from the first episode. So that's kind of cool. I'll be able to line them all up beside each other at the end of this. But enough talk. Let's get these incredible kits opened and see what wonders are within. Back soon. It's pretty amazing to think that the War Mage Hetzer, which I looked at in the last episode, it retails at the same price as this, and that War Mage I could fit into my pocket. Well, honestly, I could probably fit about 10 of them in my pocket. But already this feels a lot more substantial. This is just great to see. It's an exciting image in the front. I love all this green stuff going on. And then I just glanced down at the edge of it, and it looks like you get the stuff in it. I hope anyway. And then here we've got front and back of the kit all built up. An introduction to the Gundam here. And then all of the safety information and stuff. And this is a 1x144 scale kit. And once again, no glue required. So let's get into this thing. Look at the colors. What? This is transparent here as well. We've got like a translucent Vimto purple, I guess. Some guns. This blue. Oh, look at this. This is even sparkling. Hopefully that's picking up. Like it's got glitter inside the plastic. What is going on? More of that Vimto purple, a whole bunch of polycaps. Mountain Dew green. Am I just going to use food references for the colors throughout? Okay, I'm all out. But that is a ton of plastic. And then we have full color instructions. So we've got some art up top here. We've images of the kit again. And I'm guessing this is Riku, because this did say Riku's mobile suit on the box. Then there's a QR code here on the instructions to allow you to watch the anime of this. That's a great addition. Loving that. And then a color guide here. If the colors that come in those sprues aren't enough for you, you can go add some more. Look at this guide. This thing is huge. Like, it just keeps going. This is definitely the largest of the guides I've seen so far. The Gundam fans out there are probably thinking, you're about to open a real grade, you're going to know about large instruction manuals after that. But what I do like about this is that it's patient. It's taking its time. It's not trying to get all of the instructions onto one page like other kits that I've looked at. There's space here between the steps. If you try to do too much in these guides, and then you're adding on top of that unfamiliar iconography, you can get lost really quickly when you're trying to construct them. So this is great to see. This is what we want more of. Let's have a look at this mountain of plastic. And just, there's so much here. There really is. And as we've come to expect now, the detail in the sculpts is phenomenal. Super crisp. And then just before we go on to the real grade, I just want to appreciate this for a second. Just how sparkly and fantastic that is. I'm not even sure if it's coming out on camera, but it is very, very cool. So now it's time for my first look at a real grade. It says excitement embodied over here. Zeta Gundam AEUG Attack Use Prototype Variable Form Mobile Suit MSZ006. Is too much to have one of them just be called Steve. So there's one reason this real grade is giving me some serious nerves here, And that's because it transforms from a space jet into a Gundam. Like, I'm freaking out here. I'm thinking back to the Zaku 2, that just everything was just falling off it as I was trying to like just rotate an arm and something would spring off and it was just a nightmare. But this, does it really have a skeleton underneath all of this? Like, what is going on? Close up of the jet part of it there. Some idea of just the posability. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Okay. I can't wait any longer. And I've noticed that the Real Grade's come in sort of this glossy finish underneath. The others are all just like bland old cardboard, but they go fancy with Real Grade. Oh, there's stuff around the side as well. What? Check all this. This stuff flies out of the box. Like, this is pure fancy. Yeah. They go all in when they're putting together the Real Grades. What did I lose? Okay, some of that vibrant blue stuff, almost like an indigo. A great example there of the multicolor plastic on the sprues, the multi-effect as well. Some of them can be translucent or even transparent. Some more stuff. A huge decal sheet. And more plastic. And then ooh. Now, I joked that the previous manual was the largest I've ever seen. And I also joked that Real Grade builders out there will probably be like, oh, wait till you see Real Grade. So, this is a magazine, pretty much. It's just... Whew, it's fine. Just remember, it's a toy. It's not supposed to destroy your mind. Look at the back of this thing. Where all of the decals go, I guess. This is next level. And I can't wait to get started. Let's have a look at some plastic. So it feels like a similar mountain of plastic to the high grade there, but I've a feeling that it's how the plastic goes together that'll make the difference here. And this huge decal sheet is another element that I think elevates this set and makes it into something just a little bit more special. All of the metallic elements in there too. That's lovely. I'll not linger too much on the plastic here. Lots of colors. So I'm going to just go get it built. Back soon. It only seems right to start here with the high grade, with the Build Divers Gundam 00 Sky Moebius. I gotta say, this was very similar to the other thing I did, the Blue Destiny kit, my first ever Gundam build. It feels about the same level of complexity. It was quite interesting as well. This does have a few more visual elements. It's got these mad green blast things going on, which I decided not to attach to it because it just was a tough thing to actually get to stay on there. But I do dig the look of it, and probably if I was doing some photos later on, I'd be adding those in for a different sort of visual punch. You get some cool weapons, you get these sort of beam swords, you get this huge, I'm not even sure what this is, some kind of a energy sword maybe, and a couple of assault rifles as well, which is quite a lot in this. The standard weapon here, which is this larger rifle, has the folding handle. It looks pretty neat. You also get this fantastic sword, which I just really dig. It's taller than the actual Gundam, and it just gives you lots of options for really cool posing and things like that. I'm actually going to remove this for now because it has a tendency to swing around a bit. And I've just replaced it with one of these open hands. I love the shape of this hand, actually. It just really feels like it's this dude is trying to pacify something before lighting it up with his rifle. I do like the overall build of this. There's lots of articulation. The feet and everything there have all sort of component parts. You can see the kneecap, the way it goes on the leg. And yeah, the skirts and everything are articulated. So there's lots of dynamism in the way this is posed. And the arm and everything rotates. The head, when it's not popping clean off the shoulders, does have a little bit of flexibility and a bit of movement. I do find that the heads come away quite easily, but I suppose you're not so much playing with this as posing it, taking some cool pictures, or positioning it on your shelf or something in a savage looking way. And you don't really have to worry about the component parts separating from the body. And while there aren't a lot of decals with this kit, the ones that are there add a real amount of drama. Look at the green shine of the eyes there. It just works so well. And I like this translucent green cockpit area too. Gives you an idea of the scale of this thing, that there's a person in there controlling it. And as we look at the back of it here, there's a lot of complexity, but all of this stuff is modular. It's also highly flexible. You can move this to whatever position you want to get, the required effect. You can have it all the pointy bits pointing forward, and it's up to you how you want to lay this out, what elements you want to include or remove. And I think that's very cool. So for me, this was a great experience. The kit went together very well. I like the way it looks. I like the way the knee joints and stuff work. That's probably one of the most standout elements for me. So all in all, another fantastic Bandai Gundam, another great high grade, the multicolor sprues, the high articulation levels, and just it's got so much going for it drama-wise, so much posability. Just love it. But let's move away from high grade and have a look at my first ever real grade. Boom! And here it is. And I've already admitted that I was approaching this build with a heightened sense of stress and a little bit of fear in there, but I had nothing to be afraid of, really. I should not have been stressed. This was such a chill experience putting this model together. This was really interesting as well. The complexity that was involved. Even the way one of these leg units went together, underneath the surface is just so much complexity, but what you get up above here is just this incredible ankle movement. You've got great knee joints, even the heels and everything here. Everything just works on the surface because of the complexity underneath the surface. There's a fluidity to it, a realism to it that I've just never seen before. I think it's just remarkable. And just like the high-grade Gundam that I've looked at, this real grade has got great flexibility in all of its joints. It's got incredible colored plastics that just come straight off the sprue looking like this. But where this real grade steps away from the high-grade herd is just in these incredible decal details. I'm really hoping you can see them all in it here. They are on every surface, and I'll be straight with you, these decals took longer to apply than the Gundam actually took to build. To apply these decals, I used needle nose tweezers, and they really are on every surface. Even on the soles of the feet, there are some groovy little shiny ones there. Hopefully you can see them. But on the weapons, on these wings on the back, side of the head, shoulders, everything seems to have a decal. I thought this sheet was sort of a mix of water slide decals and self-adhesive, and it turns out the entire sheet is actually just self-adhesive. But you can see why I would make the mistake. The color just looks like a water slide sheet. But what it turned into was a sheet of probably, I don't know, must be 200 individual tiny little stickers that you just have to very carefully place on the model, but the instructions for where to place them are actually incredibly detailed. I just picked a start here, I worked my way down, I worked onto the next column, made my way down, and then followed through on each sheet until I got right down to the very bottom and I was doing weapons and wings. I loved the experience of putting those on and the time you spent on them. And taking that time, being patient, having that attention to detail, it just pays absolute dividends when you look at the finished article here. This just feels like a completely different class And now when I look back at those high grades that I built, I'm thinking, I wish they had decal sheets. But I guess that's what you pay for with these real grades. You get the decal sheets, you get that precision of engineering underneath the legs, underneath the arms, that elevate them up to that next level. Just a very brief interruption before I get into my final thoughts in these two kits as to why I didn't attempt the transformation sequence. The actual system for doing this is quite complicated. I started into it. I started moving some parts around, replicating what I was seeing here. And yeah, it often felt like I was pushing things just a little bit. I felt like I was forcing the connections. And I started flicking through the steps here, thinking, is this even worth it? Should I be doing this, or should I just be staying with this sweet, sweet Gundam over here on the side in its walker form? And honestly, when I flicked to the back and saw what it turned into, I figured, yeah, I'm going to leave it as it is here. And for me, this just looks like a cool form for this to be in. The other option was to risk potentially breaking it as I tried to get it into this form, which to me wasn't that appealing looking anyway. So I think, yeah, I'll be satisfied with what images I can see on the box art and leave it in this form. And that all said, I'll get back over to the conclusion now. So the high-grade Sky Moebius was a great kit, but this real grade Zeta, this thing is next level. And I'm dying to get my hands on more of these in the future. The real grades for me have just knocked it out of the park. And now I'm thinking, can a master grade compete with this real grade? Is it going to give me the same feel? Maybe I'll find out in a couple of weeks' time, you never know. But on the next episode of GrayPrimer on this Japan July series that I'm running, I'm going to take a slightly less serious look at one of these fantastic Bandai kits. I'm going to have a look at... Yeah, it's a model kit of a cup noodle. There's just no way to skirt around it. But that's coming up in the next episode. Until then, please like, share, and subscribe, and take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.